Welcome to the Ultimate AI-103 Exam Masterclass. I've earned 30 plus certifications, and I'm here to guide you to success on your exam. This PDF in the description is your shortcut. Use these strategies wisely and crack your exam in one go. Revise this PDF 2 to 3 times, and you'll feel the difference in your confidence. Let's jump straight into the most important questions for your success. Question 1. You are planning a Microsoft Foundry project named Project 1 that will contain multiple agents. Each agent will access the same Azure AI search resource. You need to recommend a solution to centrally manage the Azure AI search credentials within Project 1. The solution must be implemented across all the agents. What should you recommend? A. Enable role-based access control (RBC) for the Azure AI search resource. B. Disable key-based access control on the Azure AI search resource. C. Add a connection to the Azure AI search resource. D. Create a managed private endpoint that connects to the Azure AI search resource. Correct answer: C. Add a connection to the Azure AI search resource. Explanation: Connections provide centralized credential management in Microsoft Foundry projects. Multiple agents can securely reuse the same Azure AI search connection without storing credentials separately. Question 2. You have a Microsoft Foundry project that contains an agent. The agent uses Azure Speech and Foundry tools. You fine-tune a baseline speech-to-text model for the ENUS locale and publish the model. The agent calls the speech-to-text REST API and returns an error message indicating that the project ID is invalid. You need to set the project property to the correct ID. To what should you set the project property? A. The project URL. B. The custom speech project ID. C. The project ID. D. The custom speech endpoint URL. Correct answer: B. The custom speech project ID. Explanation: Custom speech models require the custom speech project ID when calling related APIs. Using the standard project ID or endpoint URL will result in validation errors. Question 3. You have an Azure Speech and Foundry Tools resource that hosts a custom speech-to-text model deployed to a custom endpoint. An agent uses the endpoint to perform real-time speech recognition. You are approaching the expiration date of the custom speech-to-text model. What is the expected behavior when the model expires? A. Speech recognition requests will return a 4xx error until a new custom model is deployed. B. Speech recognition requests will continue to use the expired custom model until the model is removed manually. C. Speech recognition requests will fall back to the most recent base model for the same locale. D. The custom model will be deleted automatically when the model expires. Correct answer: C. Speech recognition requests will fall back to the most recent base model for the same locale. Explanation: When a custom speech model expires, Azure Speech automatically falls back to the latest base model. This ensures service continuity without immediate deployment failures. Question 4. You have a Microsoft Foundry project that contains a model deployment. You have an application that calls the deployment by using the Azure OpenAI v1 API and default Azure credential. The developers at your company receive HTTP 403 errors when they send inference requests, even after running AZ login. You need to ensure that the developers can perform model inference. The solution must follow the principle of least privilege. Which RBC roles should you assign to the developers? A. Cognitive Services User. B. Cognitive Services OpenAI User. C. Contributor. D. Cognitive Services Data Reader. Correct answer: B. Cognitive Services OpenAI User. Explanation: The Cognitive Services OpenAI User role grants permission to perform inference operations. It follows least privilege principles by avoiding unnecessary management permissions. Question 5. You have a Microsoft Foundry project named Project 1 that contains an agent. The agent uses an OpenAPI 3.0 specification to call an external weather service. The weather service requires a key to be passed in an HTTP header. The key value is stored as a connection in Project 1. You need to ensure that the key value from the connection is included automatically whenever the OpenAPI tool is invoked. What should you configure in the OpenAPI specification? A. A header parameter defined for each operation. B. An Azure Key Vault connection. C. An API key security scheme. D. A bearer token security scheme. Correct answer: C. An API key security scheme. Explanation: API key security schemes automatically inject stored API keys into requests. This avoids manually defining headers for every operation. Question 6. You have a Microsoft Foundry project that serves a high-volume chat app. Most requests are simple FAQs, but some require advanced reasoning. You need to reduce costs and latency for common queries, without degrading response quality for complex questions. What should you do? A. Route all requests to a smaller model. B. Use a model cascade that routes requests to different models. C. Increase the value of the max_tokens parameter for all requests. D. Route all requests to the most capable model. Correct answer: B. Use a model cascade that routes requests to different models. Explanation: a model cascade sends simple requests to lower-cost models and complex requests to advanced models. This optimizes both performance and operational costs. Question 7. You have a Microsoft Foundry project that contains a high-traffic agent. After a recent update, operational costs increased significantly. Monitoring confirms that user traffic volume remains unchanged. You suspect that changes to request or response characteristics are causing the increase. Which observability capability should you use? A. Latency. B. Evaluation metrics. C. Run success rate. D. Token usage. Correct answer: D. Token usage. Explanation: token usage reveals how many input and output tokens are consumed. It helps determine whether cost increases come from prompts, responses, or tool interactions. Question 8. You have a Microsoft Foundry project named Project 1. Project 1 contains an application that processes PDF vendor invoices. You need to configure Azure Document Intelligence and Foundry tools to generate Markdown output that preserves sections and tables. What should you do? A. Configure output equals figures when you analyze the PDF. B. Configure content equals Markdown when you analyze the document. C. Increase the confidence threshold. D. Set the output_content_format equals content format.markdown value. Correct answer: D. Set the output_content_format equals content format.markdown value. Explanation: the Markdown content format preserves document structure including headings and tables. It minimizes development effort by providing ready-to-use formatted output. Question 9. You have a Microsoft Foundry project that contains a customer support agent. The agent calls an internal knowledge API tool before generating responses. Users report slow responses and occasional incorrect correct answers. You need to inspect individual agent runs and view LLM calls, tool invocations, and timing information. Which observability capability should you use? A. Token usage. B. Monitoring. C. Safety metrics. D. Tracing. Correct answer: D. Tracing. Explanation: tracing provides a detailed timeline of agent execution steps. It shows model calls, tool invocations, latency, and errors for troubleshooting. Question 10. You have a multimodal AI generative model that accepts image uploads and uses extracted image text to generate responses. Users can upload unsafe images containing hidden instructions. You need to implement controls to mitigate the risk. Solution: configure a prompt shield for user prompts. Does this meet the goal? A. Yes. B. No. Correct answer B. No. Explanation: prompt shields for user prompts protect against direct text prompt attacks. Hidden instructions inside images require document-based protection mechanisms. Question 11. You have a Microsoft Foundry project that contains an agent. You need to process mixed format documents containing scanned text, tables, and multi-column layouts while preserving structure in Markdown. What should you configure first? A. An Azure Language Text Analysis deployment. B. A generative chat completion request. C. An Azure OpenAI multimodal model call. D. An Azure Content Understanding Analyzer. Correct answer D. An Azure Content Understanding Analyzer. Explanation: content understanding is designed to extract structured information from complex documents. It preserves layout information needed for Markdown-based reasoning workflows. Question 12. You have a Microsoft Foundry project that uses Azure AI Search to ground an agent in internal documentation. After a content update, users report less accurate correct answers. You need to determine whether retrieved content is negatively affecting generated responses. Which observability signals should you review? A. Indexer status and failure history. B. Latency breakdown traces. C. Prediction drift metrics. D. Groundedness evaluation metrics. Correct answer D. Groundedness evaluation metrics. Explanation: groundedness measures how well generated responses align with retrieved content. Poor groundedness often indicates retrieval quality or relevance issues. Question 13. You have an app that uses a Microsoft Foundry multimodal model deployment. The app performs OCR on uploaded images and appends the extracted text to prompts. Some images contain embedded malicious instructions. What should you use? A. Image moderation. B. Prompt shields for documents. C. Protected material text. D. Prompt shields for user prompts. Correct answer B. Prompt shields for documents. Explanation: prompt shields for documents detect and mitigate prompt injection attempts hidden in files. They are specifically designed for OCR and document-based content. Question 14. You are deploying a support agent that allows users to upload photos. You need to automatically classify uploaded images for harmful content and block content based on severity. What should you do? A. Apply keyword scanning to OCR output. B. Enable prompt shields. C. Use block lists. D. Implement image moderation. Correct answer D. Implement image moderation. Explanation: image moderation evaluates visual content for harmful categories and severity levels. It supports automatic blocking based on configured thresholds. Question 15. You have a Microsoft Foundry project that contains a prompt agent used by a customer support web app. The agent is invoked from a Python service outside the Foundry portal. You need end-to-end tracing for latency and exception monitoring. Which two components can you use? A. Log Analytics Workspace. B. Application Insights. C. OpenTelemetry. D. Azure Monitor Agent. E. Microsoft Sentinel. Correct answer B and C. Application Insights. OpenTelemetry. Explanation: OpenTelemetry collects distributed telemetry and traces. Application Insights stores, visualizes, and analyzes tracing data. Question 16. You have a chat app and an Azure AI search vectorized index. Requirements: complex questions retrieve information from multiple chunks. Multi-turn conversations influence retrieval planning. Retrievals run in parallel to reduce latency. Which retrieval approach should you use? A. Iterative retrieval. B. Agentic retrieval augmented generation RAG. C. Chain of thought. D. Classic retrieval augmented generation RAG. Correct answer, B. Agentic retrieval augmented generation RAG. Explanation: Agentic RAG dynamically plans retrieval strategies based on context. It supports parallel retrievals and multi-step reasoning across conversations. Question 17. You have a chat app and an Azure AI search vectorized index. Requirements: complex questions retrieve information from multiple chunks. Multi-turn conversations influence retrieval planning. Retrievals run in parallel to reduce latency. Which retrieval approach should you use? A. Iterative retrieval. B. Agentic retrieval augmented generation RAG. C. Chain of thought. D. Classic retrieval augmented generation RAG. Correct answer, B. Agentic retrieval augmented generation RAG. Explanation: Agentic RAG can break down complex queries into multiple retrieval actions. It improves correct answer quality through intelligent planning and execution. Question 18. You have a customer support agent built using Microsoft Foundry Agent Service. During load testing, requests intermittently fail with HTTP 429, rate limit exceeded. What should you do? A. Create a new thread and retry immediately. B. Reduce the number of registered tools. C. Implement a retry policy that uses exponential backoff and jitter. D. Split uploaded content into smaller files. Correct answer, C. Implement a retry policy that uses exponential backoff and jitter. Explanation: exponential backoff gradually increases retry intervals after throttling events. Jitter reduces synchronized retry storms that can worsen rate limits. Question 19. You have a Microsoft Foundry project that generates marketing images from text prompts. A competitor's logo appears in the background of a generated image. You need to remove only the logo while preserving the rest of the image. What should you do? A. Apply a mask-based in-painting edit to the part of the image that contains the logo. B. Increase prompt guidance strength. C. Modify the original prompt to exclude brand names. D. Rerun the prompt with a different random seed. Correct answer, A. Apply a mask-based in-painting edit to the part of the image that contains the logo. Explanation: in-painting edits only the selected image region while leaving surrounding content unchanged. This is ideal for removing unwanted logos or objects. Question 20. You have a Microsoft Foundry project that contains an agent and an image generation model deployment. The agent generates original images from user-supplied product photos. You need to ensure that generated images maintain the product identity and visual characteristics. What should you do? A. Set the input_fidelity parameter to high. B. Apply a groundedness detection filter. C. Include a prompt and input image in the request. D. Decrease the temperature parameter. Correct answer, C. Include a prompt and input image in the request. Explanation: providing the original image allows the model to reference product appearance and features. The prompt guides generation while preserving visual consistency. Please revise full PDF 2 to 3 times for 100% success. Check the description for the PDF download link and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for upcoming episodes. Thank you.